I'm really excited because today we're going to have maybe Taco Bell's biggest fan.
That's Mark King, the CEO of Taco Bell, and that's me. And if you had told me 8 months ago that he was going to ask to meet me, I never would have believed you. So this is the story of how I wound up getting a private tour of the Taco Bell headquarters, access to their innovation kitchen, and a meeting with the CEO. 8 months ago, I was starting on a 30-day experiment where I would eat nothing but Taco Bell, 3 meals a day for a total of 90 meals. My hypothesis, based on the improvements that they've made in their menu over the years, was that I could actually maintain or maybe even improve my health over the course of the experiment. When I initially reached out to Missy Shapok, Taco Bell's dietitian, I was fully prepared to be ghosted. But as luck would have it, Missy was kind enough to not only respond, but also agree to an interview, which I was able to include in my documentary.
We do extensive testing to ensure that there are no flavor differences.
After the experiment ended, the documentary took forever to edit, and I ended up pulling way too many all-nighters trying to get it finished. When I finally uploaded it, despite my high expectations, the video only got about 5,000 views, which is really good, don't get me wrong, I just figured it would do more. And even though it didn't perform like I thought it would, I ended up getting a package in the mail from Taco Bell in the weeks following the release. In addition to a fanny pack, a gift card, and some Taco Bell pajamas, the package contained a note that said, "We loved your documentary. Thank you for taking the time to create it." And I thought that was it. And then, an email from Missy. She was inviting me to come to their test kitchen inside their headquarters in California. Now, if you're not a diehard Taco Bell fan, you may not know this, but the Taco Bell test kitchen is the stuff of legend. Taco Bell is famous for their innovations, and the test kitchen is where the magic happens. It's where some of the most iconic fast food items of all time have been created. The Crunchwrap Supreme, the Doritos Locos Taco, the Cheesy Gordita Crunch, and yeah, the Waffle Taco. Can't all be winners. So I knew in that moment, this was my metaphorical golden ticket. Like, maybe this was more than just a visit. I mean, in Willy Wonka, Charlie gets offered a tour and then ends up getting gifted the entire chocolate factory and a lifetime supply of chocolate. Like, maybe they were planning on giving me the keys to the headquarters and a lifetime supply of tacos. In preparation for my visit, I studied that movie in order to know what to do and what not to do. We actually had to reschedule the visit once, and that's when Missy told me the reason that the trip had been so hard to schedule in the first place. It was because they wanted me to be a guest on the CEO's podcast, Taco Bell's Recipe for Restless Creativity. So they were coordinating my schedule with the schedule of CEO Mark King, Taco Bell's Willy Wonka, if you will. Ironically, in the time between my originally scheduled visit and when I actually went was when the video actually started to gain traction. I posted an Instagram reel about the experiment that ended up getting 11 million views, and that in turn stirred up interest for the documentary, which ended up breaking 1 million views on YouTube. And to celebrate that milestone, I recreated the Gatsby GIF with Baja Blast. But the time had finally come for me to fly to Southern California. I thought I was a genius for booking a seat in the last row because I thought I'd have it all to myself. Joke's on me though, because they ended up holding the flight for 30 minutes so a guy could come sit beside me and watch videos on his phone with no headphones. I'd never been to LA before, so once we landed, I started the morning by heading up the coast and watching the sunrise over the Malibu Pier. After that, I went down to Studio City where I got to go to a pop-up food truck that was a collaboration between Taco Bell and Yeasty Boys. It was insane. I grabbed this breakfast crunch wrap and what they called the everything quesadilla. And with a full day in front of me before my visit, I decided to try to see as much of LA as I possibly could.
Slick Rick go, rope on, hella cold. And we stay fresh, so fresh at the toes. Gold slugger faded, 14 karat plated, so we're feeling like gold. So we're feeling like gold.
At the end of a long day, I went to my Airbnb to get ready for what was sure to be one of the best days of my whole life. The morning of my visit finally came. I thought about wearing a blue turtleneck like Charlie in the 1971 movie, but I decided against it. I didn't have Grandpa Joe with me, but I did have my friend Matt, who was helping me film.
That's hilarious. It's locked.
Once I got inside, I met Erica, who's in charge of entertainment, sports, and collaborations at Taco Bell. Right off the bat, I noticed something strange. I was expecting 4 other people to be there, but it was just me, which must mean that the 4 other candidates were somehow already eliminated. All I had to do was make it through the day. The keys to the headquarters were mine to lose. Erica gave me a private tour of the headquarters, or as they call it internally, the RSC, or Restaurant Support Center. And it was exactly as cool as you'd think it would be. Maybe cooler.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you.
After getting to see the employee lounge, the cafeteria, the Taco Bell inside the Taco Bell, and getting a free donut, I could see why people describe this as one of the best places to work. They also have on-site childcare, a gym, and laundry services. And after the tour, it was time to meet Mark, the man himself.
Is this the man?
This is the man.
Hi, how are you?
Even though no one had said anything to confirm my suspicions that this was a Willy Wonka type experience, you're never gonna believe one of the first things Mark said to me when we met.
Well, I'm thinking of getting into the chocolate business.
Oh, really? Okay.
Seriously.
Hold on. Chocolate? I don't know if he was messing with me, but I've gotta think he was dropping hints to giving me the keys to the headquarters. Why else would he have said that? Recording the podcast was a blast.
I was so excited. On the way back, I was calling our ad agencies. I was calling our PR. I called every marketing person that would answer the phone and say, we've got to get Sam Reid to tell his story to the world.
Literally everything trended in a positive direction, in a good
Honestly,
direction.
it's one of the most amazing things I've ever heard in my life on anything. I mean, come on. When I told my boss, who's the CEO of Yum, he turned pale white.
Uh-oh.
He dropped another reference to chocolate like halfway through the interview, maybe in case I didn't catch it the first time.
You know, I told you a little earlier, I'm going to get into the chocolate business long term.
That's right.
It sounds like there's a promising future between me and Taco Bell.
Yeah, I would love to continue to grow the YouTube channel and take that full time, and hopefully fast food and Taco Bell will continue to be a cornerstone of the content that I
Well,
make.
as long as I'm here, we're going to be a part of the show, so that's all I'm going to say.
The addition of the Doritos Locos to the already great Cheesy Gordita Crunch is what puts it over the top for me.
Sam, you have a future here at Taco Bell.
By the way, as of right now, this podcast episode hasn't been released yet, but I'll be sure to link it down in the description once they publish it.
Right? That was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
After we finished recording the podcast, we hung out for a little bit and then said our goodbyes.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, great to meet
Thanks
you.
so much.
And it was time for me to head to the test kitchen. Erica took me to a set of locked double doors with a sign that said employees only, the entrance to the test kitchen. Only a handful of non-employees have gotten to see behind those doors. People like Chrissy Teigen, Wiz Khalifa, Conan O'Brien. Missy came out and said hi, and she showed me around the test kitchen, starting with a sensory testing room, where employees get to taste test new items and ingredients and evaluate them. Inside the test kitchen, there are several production lines that are identical to the ones in Taco Bell restaurants, so that they can ensure new menu items are actually feasible to make. During the tour, Missy also confirmed something that I was hoping I would get to do.
This is how it's made. You can even get on the line too and just make some stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We ran into Renee, who I'd actually met the day before at the food truck. He's kind of a big deal. People call him the Taco Whisperer. He's one of the minds behind the nacho fries. I also got to meet Brett, who's kind of a cheese lord. He helped create the toasted cheddar chalupa and the quesalupa. Also, to give credit where credit is due, let's not forget that Missy developed the Power Bowl, which I had almost every day during my experiment. After being shown around, it was time to eat. Right before we went into the room where I'd be taste testing new items, Erica gave me some insider scoop.
Tips of the trade.
Yes.
Don't eat everything and don't go too fast.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
it's so hard because
Pace
you're
myself.
like, gosh, this is delicious.
Yeah.
But pace yourself.
Once we were inside, I got to meet Marissa, who's another registered dietitian on the innovation team. I was also introduced to Gabby and Imelda, who work at the test kitchen and would be hooking me up over the course of the next hour.
Awesome. Well, I hope you're hungry. This is the eating part.
Missy had asked about some of my favorites ahead of time, so they prepared some classics, including a cheesy gordita crunch with a Doritos Locos taco shell and some nacho fries.
And you guys are master folders, by the way. This is one of the most perfect crunch wraps I've ever seen. Look at that. That's like, you could put that in a geometry textbook.
While I was eating, Liz Matthews stopped by, who's the head of the food innovation team, also known as the Chief Food Innovation Officer. After a little while, they started rolling out some unreleased items. And while I can't show you these items until they're announced, I can confirm that the Volcano menu is officially coming back for a limited time starting on June 29th. And I can tell you this, the food that I got to taste test that's coming to menus soon is top notch. Like, I think you guys are really gonna like it.
Oh my gosh, you weren't kidding about the tasting yourself. That was no joke.
While I ate, I pretty much just got to hang out with my heroes and ask them a ton of questions. They were super gracious hosts and took the time to answer every single question I asked. I finished up with a collaboration that Taco Bell did with Milk Bar, which was called the Strawberry Bell Truffle, and it was phenomenal. And then after eating, they gave me the chance to play around and create my own item. So I made what I call the Taco Dia. It's a quesadilla made on 6-inch soft tortilla shells that then becomes the shell to a taco. I used fillings like chicken and guac, but this could also work with classic taco ingredients like beef, lettuce, and cheese. I also had the privilege of making one for Missy.
Yeah, you like it?
I think she's too nice to say whether it was good or bad, but I liked it. I'm just saying, if you guys see an iteration of this on a Taco Bell menu in the future, you'll know where it came from. They also recreated a chicken flatbread for Matt, which was one of his childhood favorites. And eventually, like all good things, my visit to the Taco Bell kitchen came to an end. It was slowly dawning on me that I might not be given the keys to the Taco Bell headquarters or a lifetime supply of tacos, and I think I might know why. Before I had left for the trip, my friend Mike asked me if I could bring him back a souvenir. So while I was in the test kitchen, I actually slipped a few napkins into my pocket, and I think that might have been what disqualified me. In retrospect, I think Mike might have been hired by Taco Bell to serve as my own personal Slugworth as a test of my character. All kidding aside, they could not have been nicer, and I was just grateful to be there. Before I left, Erica actually hooked me up with an incredible gift box with some Taco Bell merch and gift cards.
Thank you guys. This is so kind of you.
The hot sauce packet on the sweatshirt said challenge accepted, which we thought was pretty fitting given my 30-day experiment. On our way out, Matt and I stopped by the very first Taco Bell restaurant, also known as Numero Uno, which currently resides in the parking lot of the headquarters.
It's where it all started.
It was finally time to return home, and I actually booked my return flights through San Diego because, spoiler, I was also filming segments for my quest for the best wings in the United States. So I made sure to grab wings in both LA and San Diego, so keep an eye out for those episodes coming next season. The only downside to the entire trip was that on my way back, the handle on my suitcase got stuck, so I had to carry it through the airport like a goober. You guys, it was seriously the trip of a lifetime, and I still can't believe that a project that started right here in this studio brought me to the Taco Bell test kitchen and a meeting with the CEO. But just like that, that's a wrap on season 4 of the Studio Review. I'm going to take a short break to gear up for season 5, which you can expect to premiere in late May or early June. This has been a wild season. I started it with 2,500 subscribers, and I'm finishing it with over 30,000, which I still can't wrap my mind around. So I just wanted to say thank you for being along for the ride as I'm on this journey towards becoming a full-time content creator. And if you haven't already, you can click subscribe so you don't miss out on new content coming soon, which I'm really excited for you to see. And most importantly, just remember that even when it doesn't feel like it, it's going to be okay. I'll see you soon.